Yes, YouTube. So I've had a few questions about how I set this room up for DJing and live stream. I've got 3 minutes on YouTube, so I'm going to fit in as much information as I possibly can. Let's get into it. So for actually DJing, I use the DDJ 1000, the Serato version, and I have a physically separate third deck, the Denon LC6000. For actually streaming, I stream to TikTok and Instagram at the same time using the YOLO Live InStream. The good thing about this is it takes HDMI input for the video, and you can plug in a USB audio interface for audio. And it's also good because it uses the mobile apps, not Studio, OBS. If you've used those, you know that they can limit your kind of discovery exposure. This kind of gets around that. Speakers are on the booth output, just set up so it doesn't pick the microphone up so you don't get feedback. The microphone just sits here when not in use. This is Elgato LED panel lights, that one there on a very low percent, and then that one there just fills the room. More lights, I just have some cheap LED strips along the top there. So I actually record the lives as well. So I use two computers, a mini PC which is more powerful, and a laptop here which is less powerful. For recording I use into OBS, a landscape one for YouTube, and a portrait one for clips and stuff like that. One of the key things I've set up here is the audio. There are two audio tracks. This one here is one of the USB audio interfaces, which includes the mic, and then this is coming straight out of the Serato, the virtual interface. This doesn't have the microphone included, so I can kind of switch between whether or not I have the mic in the recording or not. And if we go down here, you can kind of see how it's split up. So the master output from the decks is going into this splitter here, two audio interfaces. That one's going into the YOLO Live, that one's going to this hub here, which is then going into the computer, and that kind of gives me the option to switch between the two. In terms of lights, I also use this thing here, which is like an aura kind of light that goes up onto the ceiling. It's just sort of a cheap one from Kmart. I just pull it out when I use it. The keyboard I use with Ableton, which then uses this audio interface. The output from this audio interface is going into channel 4 on the mixer. Here's a little fan in case I get too hot. Also key, using the two computers, there's actually two USB outputs on the 1000. So one's going into the laptop to actually control it. The other goes into Serato on here, which is only purely used just to pick up the audio.